Hello everyone, I'm Anne from English Valley Cafe. Welcome. Do you get confused between I'm bored, I'm boring? What's the difference? Are you using them correctly? Let's talk about that today. So in this lesson, we're going to focus on adjectives that end in ed and ing. And in a minute, I'm going to give you some questions and we'll see how you do with these sentences. One trick here to remember when to use these adjectives. So let's start with the ed adjectives. We use ed adjectives like interested, tired, frustrated. These are used to describe a temporary feeling or an emotion that we have. It can be used to describe a person or an animal. On the other hand, the ing adjectives like interesting, frustrating, annoying, these adjectives are describing a thing or a person or a situation that causes a feeling. So basically, these adjectives are describing the characteristic of something. Okay, so one is talking about the feeling, our temporary feeling, and the other one, the ing ending adjectives, are used to talk about or describe a characteristic of something. I'm going to give you some questions here and let's see if you can guess what is the correct adjective to use. Are you ready? Let's get started. So first, we're going to start with this sentence here. I'm not something in horror movies. It's not very something. So is it interesting or interested? Which of these adjectives should we use? Take a few seconds and see if you can fill in the blank. All right, so the first one is I'm not interested in horror movies. So this is describing our feeling, our emotion about something, how we feel about horror movies. It's not very interesting. So here in the second part, we're describing that the horror movies, we're describing the characteristic of it. So it's not very interesting. Did you get that right? Awesome if you did. All right, the next sentence here is it tired or tiring? She gets very from driving the kids around all day. Is it she gets very tired or she gets very tiring? What do you think? That's right. She gets very tired. Okay, so here again, we're describing how she feels. She gets very tired. Tired. The next sentence, English phrasal verbs can be because one phrasal verb can have multiple meanings. Is it confused or confusing? What do you think? If you guess confusing, that's right. English phrasal verbs can be confusing because one phrasal verb can have multiple meanings. So here we're describing the characteristic of English phrasal verbs. All right, the next one, annoyed, annoying. The person behind me keeps kicking my chair. Is really okay, so what is it? Is it annoying or annoyed? 3, 2, 1. It is. It's really annoying. Yes, annoying. So here, because I'm describing this characteristic of the person kicking my chair, this situation. So here we're going to use the ing adjective which describes the characteristic. So I'm not talking about how I feel. Well, I can say I'm very annoyed. Okay, but the situation is really annoying. The next one, he told a very silly story about my childhood and I was very Embarrassed or embarrassing? What do you think here? So I'm describing how I feel. So we're using the feeling of a person. So it is embarrassed. That's right. He told a very silly story about my childhood, and I was very embarrassed. So we're describing how I feel. All right, the next one, relax or relaxing. We were so at the resort hotel. Our room was next to the ocean. The sound of the ocean waves crashing was something. All right, see if you can fill in the blank. Okay, so we were so relaxed. Okay, so here we are describing how our mood is, how we're feeling. We were so relaxed at the resort hotel. Our room was next to the ocean. The sound of the ocean waves crashing was relaxing. Okay, so here we're talking about the characteristic of how that sound make us feel. So relaxing. All right, how did you do? So far, so good? All right, let's go on to the next one. Excited and exciting. The grandparents were to see their grandchildren. It was an time for all of them. So is it excited to see or exciting to see? And is it exciting time or excited time? All right, so the grandparents were excited. That's right, excited to see their grandchildren. It was an exciting time for all of them. So in the first part, we're describing how the grandparents feel. They feel excited. But it was an exciting time. So we're describing the characteristic of that period of time when they get to see their grandchildren. It was an exciting time. All right, so let's go on to the next one. Satisfied or satisfying? This was a very meal. We were with the food and the service. All right, so in the first part of the sentence, we're describing the characteristics, so we're using satisfying meal. In the second part, we're describing our feeling about the service and the food, so we're going to use satisfied. All right, did you get that correct? All right, how did you do? I hope you got them all correct, or maybe half of them correct. If you'd like to share with me, write it down in the comments and let me know how many you got correct. If you want a little bit more practice, go ahead and you can use some of these adjectives or maybe some adjectives that you want to practice and write a sentence with it down in the comments below, and I would be happy to check your sentence. Thank you so much for joining me today, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to English Valley Cafe for more videos like this. I do upload a video every week, and that's it for this video. Thank you so much, and I will see you next week.